So WeBWorK is our online homework and practice environment. So if you've taken a course like Math 090 or 095 in the past, you may have used a different online homework system before that was a commercial system, so it was attached to a particular textbook and a particular publisher, and you actually had to pay to access it. WeBWorK is not that. WeBWorK is open and free and open source. So that's why we're using it this semester. It's a good partner for the open source textbook that we're using. The other good part about WeBWorK is that unlike the commercial systems, you don't have to go set up a separate account and remember a separate username and a password. It's linked right in with our Blackboard system, which is great. So that means that when you want to go complete WeBWorK problems, all you have to do is click on the WeBWorK assignment out of Blackboard. It'll automatically give you the opportunity to log in with your same Bridgewater username and password, and you'll be linked directly into the roster. So if I jump back, for example, to our first topic area, this is our arithmetic topic area. If I click on Homework 1, then it pops out a link that launches me directly into a set of problems for homework number 1. So now we've landed in the WeBWorK system. For today, just to get us oriented to how all this works, I'm going to ask you to do the steps that I just did, which is jump into topic number 1, click on homework number 1, and that should pop out a separate window that lands you directly into WeBWorK. Before we actually get the orientation to how WeBWorK works, let me go back to the syllabus one more time and just point out how WeBWorK is going to help you make progress this semester. And it does so in 2 different ways. The first is that each WeBWorK assignment inside of WeBWorK, and there are 12 of them, one for each topic area for the semester, each one is a set of 15 problems. So if you do the multiplication on that, there's a total of 180 WeBWorK problems that you can work on this semester within the WeBWorK environment. And each problem should give you the opportunity to do it and to redo it as many times as you need to until you get it correct, until the due date comes up. So the first batch of WeBWorK problems are due next week Friday on June 2nd. And that batch includes the topics, the first 4 topic areas of the semester. So there's actually quite a bit of content there that you can work on between now and next Friday. And completing those problems in WeBWorK just advances you up this chain. So if over the course of the whole semester you complete only 30 WeBWorK problems, well, that gets you the 30 box checked. If you complete more than 60, you get the 60 checkbox. If you complete more than 90, you get that one. If you complete more than 120 WeBWorK problems over the course of the next 4 weeks, then you get that checkbox as well. So that total number of problems that you've completed successfully in WeBWorK goes into this bottom row on your grade check. The other thing you can do with WeBWorK is that you can use WeBWorK as a source of written homework as well. So the way that that works is that for a WeBWorK write-up, and this is something you can do instead of a quiz and instead of an exam problem, right? This contributes to your topic mastery. What you'll do there is essentially download and print out your WeBWorK assignment and then complete it on paper, completing all problems and showing all your work. And then from among those problems, I'll select 4 of them at random and see whether or not 3 out of the 4 meet the same standard of correctness that I apply to quiz or exam problems. So the advantage to doing WeBWorK write-ups is that you can do them at your own pace, at home, at your leisure, right? The disadvantage is that there's a lot more problems. So a typical quiz in the semester might have 2 problems or 3 problems. A WeBWorK write-up has 15 problems, and you don't know which 4 out of the 15 I'm going to look at. So it adds this extra element of just more work. But it's a place for you to really be thorough with the work that you're doing. So real quickly, in order to actually print out a WeBWorK assignment, once you're in the assignment here within WeBWorK, just scroll all the way down to the bottom. And at the bottom, it's going to have a little option that says download a PDF hard copy for the current set. So if I choose that option, it's going to give me some options for how to actually format it. This is going to be a little weird, but you'll probably want to show, you don't want to show student answers. What that will do is it will actually show you what you've submitted to WeBWorK for any of the problems that you've already submitted in WeBWorK. If you're doing it for written homework, I would uncheck that. So uncheck student answers. You probably want it as a PDF so that you can print it out, otherwise it's going to look really weird. And to give yourself some room to actually work the problems, I like to choose the 1-column format instead of 2-column, otherwise it kind of gets squished on the page. Once you then click to generate the hard copy, it'll pop up with a PDF version of all the problems on that problem set. So it's this then that you would print out, do all of your work, and then pass this in. And you would pass this in person because there's probably a number of pages on this. These I'm going to ask you to pass in person at our in-person meetings. So this is yet another way that you can make progress in your topic mastery, is by doing write-ups of your WeBWorK problems. The other benefit is that because these problems are linked directly to the online WeBWorK problems themselves, you can actually check before you hand this paper version in. You can check to see whether your answers are correct just by submitting those answers into WeBWorK. So let's say I do this first problem, 4 minus 10, 5 minus 1, 5 minus 12. I do my workout on the page. I'm going to hand this in later, but I want to make sure that my answers are correct. What I'll do is I can just jump into WeBWorK to that same problem, problem number 1, and just enter my answers. 4 minus 10, negative 6. 5 minus 1, 4. 5 minus 12, negative 7. And if I then choose to... So let's talk a little bit about these options here. The first option is to preview my answer. This isn't so important with answers that are just numbers, but a number of WeBWorK problems will ask you to enter in algebraic expressions, x squared plus 2y squared, that kind of thing, and so on. So previewing is a good practice before you submit them, just to make sure that WeBWorK is understanding the expression in the way that you intend. You can choose to check your answers, which I don't recommend using the check my answer button. Probably what you want is to actually submit them, but this will just check through your answers to see whether they're correct or not. And then once you click submit, that actually rolls. So I don't recommend using the check button. You're always going to want to use the submit button when you submit your answers into WeBWorK. So there's a nice interplay between the paper WeBWorK write-ups that you can do, and then the online version of WeBWorK where you can actually check to see whether the answers that you've gotten on paper are correct before you pass them in on paper to me.